Now, I actually go more into detail about this in my ACT study plan. For those of you who haven't joined my site, I've got a free course on ACT study plans. But long story short, if you're starting early in this process, you've got more than 6 months to your next test, then you can afford to take it easy. You don't have to cram. So what it's going to look like is, so I had it written on this as 4 months or more. Okay, so I'm going to change this to 4 months. So if you have more than 4 months until your next test, so again, if you're starting early, then I recommend 30 minutes per day on average, 4 days per week. Now, occasionally, maybe once per month with this kind of schedule, you'd want to do a full test, and then maybe a little bit more frequency with the full tests as you get closer, but never really more than once every 2 weeks. One of the big mistakes students make is just practice test after practice test after practice test, and there's a lot of issues with that. I talk about this in my study plan videos. You want to do a lot more review and learning, and the tests are really there to improve your stamina and give you a data point, but you really shouldn't be learning through tests. You should be learning through practice sections, through books, through courses, through tutoring, whatever you're doing. That should be the majority of your stuff. But if you got more than 4 months, 30 minutes per day, 4 days per week, that's a good pace. Just be consistent. If you have less than 3 months, then I recommend you to do 1 hour per day. And here's the thing, this applies through the whole cycle. So if you start with greater than 4 months to go, you can do this through the entire run up to your test. Maybe study a little bit more as the test gets closer, but the benefit of studying early is you don't have to study at this pace later. This is literally, if you start at these points, this is what you should be doing through the whole study plan. If you have less than 1 month, so if you're like starting with not much time left, then I recommend 1.5 hours per day, 6 days per week. Now, again, these are just suggestions, and everyone's got different schedules. Everyone's got different things that they need to do. And these are averages. Some days you may study a little bit more. Some days you may study less. But the key thing tying all this together is consistency. So if you're in the situation where Monday through Friday, you've got school, you've got sports, you've got extracurriculars, you've got whatever, and so you don't get any SAT or ACT studying done, but then on Saturday or on Sunday, you study for 5 hours, that is not going to be as consistent. That's not going to be as effective as studying a little bit, even a half hour each of those days through the week, building that consistent habit, cramming, even like kind of long-term cramming, just doing a lot of studying on one day. That's not going to get you the learning that you need. Certainly, occasionally, you'll have to do like a 4-hour test, and yeah, fine. But you should be spreading out the studying over many days. And, half hour, an hour, consistency is the key. So if you do that, you're going to be, especially long-term, in a really good position to do that. To learn more about Reason Prep's SAT, SAT subject test, and ACT video courses, go to reasonprep.com/enroll, and you can find the link in the description below the video.